Since the dawn of creation, snakes have slithered their way through every legend and every myth passed down generations. Whether it's the rainbow serpent in the first Australian stories or the Chinese dragons, which are serpent-like creatures associated with wisdom, rain, rivers, power, and good fortune. Even in the Bible, a serpent was present in the Garden of Eden, tempting Eve to eat from the forbidden fruit. What if I told you that there is a colossal snake that exists today in this day and age? What if I said the snake shapeshifts to fit into today's society to blend in? Or maybe that shape-shifting snake was a guardian put on this earth since the beginning of time. This story I'm about to share is not just another myth, but a known fact whispered through time. Today, we uncover the hidden legend of Bobongnara, the guardian whose spirit flows through the very heartbeat of the land and water he protects. This is today's Uncharted story by JK, the place where the hidden, the forgotten, and the untold come to life. Before I run my mouth, this is just a quick disclaimer. The stories, commentary, and the opinions shared here are for entertainment, reflection, and discussion purposes only. Viewers are encouraged to form their own opinions, and please be civil in the comments section. As already mentioned, this storytelling channel is created to share the unique stories and cases that are hidden, forgotten, and untold. So I want to encourage viewers, particularly from the islands, to share your story or drop a comment on a topic that I can research into and deliver the story. Okay, that's enough running my mouth. Let's get into the story. Across the world, in the most hidden remote corners, there are unseen guardians, ancient protectors who watch over untamed lands and waters. From the towering peaks of the forgotten mountains to the depths of the hidden seas, from the winding riverbeds to the misty edge of the waterfalls, these guardians take many forms. They can shape-shift to look appealing to the human eye. They can be small like a mouse or even a bird. They can be both mighty and humble. But one thing's for sure, they are all bound to the land that they protect. In the heart of Melanesia, one such guardian remains shrouded in mystery. His presence is ancient, and his story is one few know. The legend of Bobongnara begins in the land of the unexpected, Papua New Guinea or PNG, a country located to the north of Australia, and the two are separated by the Torres Strait Island. The shortest distance between PNG and Australia is approximately 150 kilometers or 93 miles. The distance between PNG and Australia is more than just geographical. While the two are physically close, they are worlds apart in culture, history, and economically, so to speak. PNG is the third largest island country in the world. It is also made up of numerous islands. The country has a population of around 9 million people, making it one of the most populous countries in the Pacific. But what truly sets PNG apart is that it has more than 850 languages spoken. It's a land where every village, every community speaks its own tongue, making it the most linguistically diverse place on Earth. Bobongnara's story is set in Morobe Province, the land of the Kumu. Bobongnara is someone who the PNGs would refer to as Masalai or Papa Ground. Either terms are used to refer to a spirit or a supernatural being often linked to legends in indigenous cultures. These spirits or entities are sometimes seen as either protective or malevolent, depending on the specific myth. Bobongnara or Papa Ground is seen as the guardian of a certain sacred place or a being from another realm. It is said that he is not like any other spirit, for Bobongnara was a being who owned the very mountains of Sarawak Range and the vast waters surrounding the land. Legend has it that Bobongnara is a figure of pale skin and flowing hair that exuded an aura of mystery that seemed to belong to another world. Now, PNGs, particularly the Morobeans, have a range of brown skin tones to dark skin tones. with afro to curly hair textures, so they are completely the opposite to how Bobongnara would look like. If you actually think about it, if Bobongnara visited a village back in those days where the Papua New Guineans, there wasn't any influence from the outside world, if he was to visit, he would definitely stick out like a sore thumb because, first of all, he was Caucasian. He had pale skin and his hair was of different texture to what the villagers look like. Second of all, the villagers would think, what is a Caucasian guy doing in the middle of the jungle or on this remote island? There would be all these questions and negative thoughts going through their head, whether this Caucasian guy was only one or was there a few of them. There will be all these negative thoughts and he'll be seen as a threat. But because the story of Bobongnara has been passed from generation to generation, his presence in a village was seen as a blessing in disguise. It is said that Bobongnara had never arrived like humans do. No birth, no beginning. He had always been woven into the very mountains and waters themselves. Long before the first villages arose from the earth or the first ships cut through the seas, Bobongnara existed. Some even say he was born from the spirit of the mountains, while the others claim the sea or the ocean itself gave him life. Either way, he was one with both the land and the sea. Though Bobongnara could take the form of a man, he was far beyond human. His true shape was of a colossal serpent, his scale luminous with the deep blue of the ocean and the rich green of the mountains. This ancient creature would glide through the waters and coil around the towering peaks of Sarawak Range, silently guarding his realm. When the sea churned violently, it was said to be Bobongnara himself, stirring beneath the surface, a reminder to all of his unmatched power and dominion over both the land and sea. There were unspoken rules that the Morobeans understood regarding Bobongnara's realm. They knew that the mountains and the sea he ruled was sacred, and if met with any disrespect towards them, they would be met with a swift punishment. I'll share this story from an uncle who is from Morobe himself, from a small village called Finchafen, and it was a powerful account from his youth. He said that when he was growing up, him and all the other kids grew up listening to the stories of Bobongnara. Obviously, when you're small, you're still protected and surrounded by your family in the village. But in most cases in Papua New Guinea, when kids start to go to high school, they start leaving their village and they start going out to the cities. So that's what happened to this uncle. He left his village when he started high school and he went to Leh. Leh is the main city for Morobe province. Now, it wasn't until he had a particular personal experience regarding Bobongnara that he then understood the deep respect the people had for this guardian. He said that one day, while riding on a bus, something strange happened. The bus suddenly came to a halt in the middle of the road. The driver turned off the engine and the passengers were asked to be silent. Not for long, only about 10 seconds. In that stillness, everyone seemed to know exactly what to do. No one was talking, no one was laughing, there was no conversations. Everyone was still and quiet. Now let's talk about this for a second. Imagine if there was a Greyhound bus traveling from Cairns to Townsville and it stopped in the middle of the road out of nowhere and they asked you to be quiet for 10 seconds. You would think, nah, are you crazy? Like, we have places to be. Let's go. Like, what the hell? Did we pop a tire? Like, why are you stopping? And the bus doesn't even pull over to the side to park. It actually just stops in the middle of the highway. As ridiculous as this sounds, this does actually happen and is still happening. Wouldn't it be thrilling and exciting getting that confirmation that the stories you actually grew up listening to are now real? Anyways, when the moment passed, the bus driver turned the engine back on and then he beeped. I'm not sure if he beeped 3 times or if he just beeped for like 3 seconds. But the bus continued its journey as if nothing unusual had occurred. He said that what really stuck with him was that every other bus that traveled on the same road, when they got to that same point where his bus turned off its engine and stood still, all the other buses did the same. Whether it was traveling to or whether it was traveling from, those buses did the same. They all stopped, they turned their engines off, and then they waited. He said that what really struck him was that every other bus that was going the opposite direction or that was behind them did the exact same thing that his bus did. It wasn't a question, it was a tradition, an unspoken understanding that everyone shared, from the passengers to the driver. They all knew in that moment they were honoring Bobongnara's presence in the land. Passenger boats or fishermen who crossed his waters were always careful to honor the seas within his borders, the same way they did on land. They knew the old customs: never make noise, never pollute the sea, and to never disturb the peace of the land. For if they did, Bobongnara would rise up from the depths of the ocean as a great serpent, his anger turning the calm seas into furious storms. Ships and boats that angered him would be pulled into the deep, disappearing beneath the waves, lost forever in the dark, cold waters. But he was not a vengeful spirit. He did not wish harm on the people of Morobe. Rather than ruling with fear or force, he devoted himself to preserving the delicate harmony between the land and the sea. Though he remained a mysterious presence beneath the waves, there were rare and wondrous moments when he would rise from the ocean in human form. Emerging from the shimmering waters, he would quietly join the villagers during their celebrations, sharing in their joy like an old friend returned from a distant world. Whenever weddings, grand feasts, or sacred gatherings filled the village with music and laughter, he would appear among the people like a spirit carried in by the tide. With his long hair flowing like the currents of the ocean, he danced beneath the firelight, moving with a strength that commanded attention and grace that seemed almost otherworldly. Every step he took felt alive with the heartbeat of the land and the sea, as though nature itself moved through him. The villagers welcomed him warmly whenever he appeared, greeting him with open arms and grateful hearts, for they believed his presence brought blessings upon their people. Yet even in the moments of celebration, they never forgot the quiet power he carried or the deep respect he commanded, like the vast ocean itself, beautiful, generous, and never to be taken lightly. The legend of Bobongnara was never merely a story meant to inspire fear. It was a sacred tale woven with lessons of respect, reminding the people of the fragile balance between humankind, nature, and the unseen spirit world. As the guardian of both the towering mountains of Sarawak Range and the sea, Bobongnara taught the earth was not something to conquer, but something to honor and protect. The rivers, the forest, and the oceans were to remain clean and pure, for they were the lifeblood of the world to be watched over. Those who cared for the land and respected the waters lived peacefully beneath his watchful gaze, believing his spirit would guide and protect them. But to those who grew careless, who took nature's gifts for granted, or harmed the ocean and earth without thought, he showed no mercy. His anger came as swiftly and fiercely as the storm rising up from the sea, reminding all who heard his legend that nature's power should never be ignored. To this day, the people of Morobe speak the name of Bobongnara with deep reverence, passing his legend from one generation to the next, through stories whispered by the elders and the songs carried on in the evening air. Though many years have passed, his presence is still believed to linger across the land he once protected. Or maybe he still does. His name echoes through the mountains and drifts across the sea, reminding the people of the mighty Masalai who watched over both realms. The crashing waves along the shore, the wind moving up through the ancient trees, and the cool mist returning upon the peaks of Sarawagat Range are all said to carry the spirit of Bobongnara. Even now, his legacy lives in the hearts of people, a timeless reminder to honor the sacred balance between humanity, nature, and the spirit world that surrounds them. And so the story of Bobongnara remains. Whether legend or truth, some say his presence never left and can be felt to this day. The question is, do you believe he exists? That is all the time we have for today. Please let me know what you think of the story below in the comment section. And if you have any other stories that you would like for me to research into, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and stay blessed.